Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber feud is back. Britney Spears is under attack, and the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City just got named Reality Show of the Year. Julia Lemigova is literally going to therapy for PTSD, and Ramona is saying the unthinkable again. This and much more. Welcome to Pop Smash. Hello, everybody, troop. Welcome back. I'm your host, Andy Shademan, and welcome to another day full of tea. It is Friday. The weekend is here. Girl, it is Halloween month. We are getting ready for our first Halloween parties. I actually have my first Halloween party tomorrow, and I already have my costume and everything. I will be showing you that on my social media, so make sure to go and follow me everywhere: TikTok, Instagram, all of that. And I am super excited. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays, because I love to dress up. I love to pretend to be whatever I want to be that year, and I love to go all the way. I like to go the distance when it comes to Halloween. So I'm very excited for my first costume tomorrow. Let me know what you guys are doing for Halloween. How many parties are you assisting? All right, guys, if you are new here, welcome to BEVERLY Troop, where I spill the tea every single day. Welcome, welcome, welcome here. And if you are joining me from my old YouTube channel, welcome back. I am so glad that you found the light, that you found our new home. Guys, don't forget to subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And girl, let's talk about this mess. Oh my god, so many things are happening on the pop culture streets, on the Bravo verse. We're just gonna mix it up and talk about a little bit everything. And I think what better place to start than with Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber feud back. I feel that Selena Gomez doesn't even really think about it. I don't think she really cares about Hailey Bieber anymore. But once in a while, I feel like Hailey gets just bored and it's like, how can I make people talk about me? Let's just throw shade or do something, so to make people kind of reignite this whole feud, this whole feud between the two of them, which honestly only serve Hailey because again, Selena Gomez is not thinking about this whatsoever. But anyways, there is a couple of different interviews. On one side, we're gonna talk about Hailey Bieber. She basically, she said that she doesn't like, where that she's being pinned with another against another, celebrity, and that the whole stress about it, and also how the other people don't say anything to dissolve it. And I think it's a lot of of course, talking about the feud with Selena Gomez, trying to again put some blame on Selena, or look, at the end of the day, it's kind of stupid. At the end of the day, I feel like again, Haley doesn't have anything else to do, and every single time that she has an interview or something, she has to say something about it. I'm gonna read you some of the stuff. She says that she is doing her best job not to let the noise get to her. She says it's always annoying being pitted against other people. I didn't ask for that. When people want to see you a certain way and they have made up a story about you in their minds, it's not up to you to change that. I felt like a lot of people didn't like me. I still feel that way. It says also that amid the chatter about her marriage and alleged celebrity feuds, Haley and Justin Bieber are focused on themselves. We are both really finding our voices of who we are, and I believe both really walking authentically in what it is we actually want to be doing. I think that she needs to reach a point when they ask her about feuds and about she's not feuding with absolutely anyone else. Selena Gomez is not really feuding with her. I think the feud is in her head. But I think if she didn't want to take advantage of this situation, when people ask her about it, she will. I mean, she should be like, hey, you know what? There is no feud. Why are we talking about this? Next question. Period. But no, she has to say something. She has to say something. You know why? Because in her mind, she's only thinking about the made up beef. Like Selena Gomez lives rent free on Hailey Bieber's mind. It is wild to me to see how much she obsessed over this over and over and over. And I also like kind of like, girl, pay attention to your marriage. Selena Gomez is living her best life. She just got married. She's just doing amazing things. Like why is she like not thinking about her own marriage with Justin. Like I think it's kind of like weird. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. But going on the same place, we also have an interview with Selena Gomez where, of course, she's not talking about Hailey Bieber at all, but she's talking about things that matter. Things about her foundation, mental health, all the things that really matter. Her friendship with Taylor Swift. She has some cool things to say. For example, related to her friendship with Taylor Swift, she says that she is the most brilliant people I have ever met. I will always remember, she said, if you are the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. And she also said that Taylor is literally one of those friends that has always been there for her. And it's not only like a yes person, but like a person who is actually going to be beneficial for her life, her career, her marriage, her absolutely everything. And I think that's such a beautiful thing because it really shows the love of a real friendship, right? Then she also says, talking about mental health, she talks about she suffers from imposter syndrome. This is something that a lot of people who get to have a lot of things and they just don't believe that they are worthy of those things sometimes, or that or why are they having these things but so many other people don't get to have them, right? She says that Selena Gomez is one of the most powerful women in business and one of the realest one too. Selena spoke at Fortune's Most Powerful Women Summit 2025 and got candid about imposter syndrome and the anxiety that caused her to be fearful of joy. When something great happen in my life, I expect something bad to happen. So instead of being present and saying, wow, we have done a great thing, which I do, but I am always thinking this could all go away tomorrow. So how do I make sure that that doesn't happen? I got married and then I was sobbing because I was like, I'm going to die the next day. Um, I think, I mean, we all know that Selena Gomez definitely has been, have her share of like, having to deal with mental health, and how that is why it's so important to her. That's where like her foundation and everything she does with Rare Beauty and all of that, it's so important to her because this is honestly, uh, like a big situation for her. I think she doesn't realize how much help she's giving out there, how inspirational she actually is. Everything that she does it not wanting to, show the world that she's better than anyone else. She's actually doing things to inspire other generations, to inspire other people, young girls, young boys, to like everyone, to be um, not only good to the world, but also good to yourself, to work on yourself, to work on your mental health. And I think that's such a beautiful thing to do. So, like, I think, I mean, it's wild, I mean, Selena Gomez is not only one of, the most famous people in the world, but also she is a billionaire. She is an extremely savvy, business person, right? So, imagine like having it all and still having those doubts in your mind because you feel that you are not enough. And it's kind of like heartbreaking, and I think she really hopes that she really knows that she deserves everything that she has. I think especially when you grow up in Hollywood since you are very young, it mess up with like your brain and the way that you see the world. But at the end of the day, it's all about like making the world a better place. And in these cases where you have the money, the platform, the everything, I feel that it's kind of like an obligation, to make sure that the world somehow, even if it's like a 1%, it becomes a better place. And I think that Selena is doing her great part into helping the world. She's not only like selling things that are breaking other people's faces. She's actually like encouraging change. She's actually um donating to associations and charities, and like helping people out to be better. So she deserves everything that she has, you know what I mean? So anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below about that one. All right, guys, so let's move on with something less positive for sure, because girl, I talk a little bit about this on my TikTok, but Britney Spears' ex. This man is probably the most disgusting person that I have ever seen. Kevin Federline. I mean, I am appalled that you will think that it is okay to destroy other people's lives like that. You know, Kevin Federline dropped his new book. You know, and he is attacking and attacking and attacking Britney Spears left and right. He is doing press, and the things that this man is saying are truly horrible and disgusting. And I mean, we all know that he's trying to go for the shock factor, and the let's expose Britney Spears kind of factor. And then I'm thinking, do you realize that whatever you're saying is something that, if happens, because honestly I don't believe him, uh, this happened 20 plus years ago. And he's acting like he is this victim who is suffering from an attack right now. And that right there to me is telling me you are so thirsty for money. This man has been a leech on Britney Spears' life, sucking money for years, taking advantage of his kids for years. And as soon as those checks stop coming, instead of like, I don't know, maybe put some money away from all of that money that Britney gave you for like 18 years, instead of doing that, buy something, maybe put a business or something, or maybe even finding a job, he's deciding to destroy a vulnerable person. The things that he was saying and talking about Britney, and I'm like, this is a woman who was a literal slave for 12 years. This is a woman who was manipulated, who was gaslight, who was brainwashed, who was used and abused for 13 years. She was used as a cow to milk every single drop. And you're going to go around and say things that may have happened 20 years ago. He's saying things like, "Oh my God, I went into a room and she was doing coke." I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna tell me that you never did absolutely anything? The man who is known for have weed and prostitutes around him all the time." Okay, you know what I mean? And he says something about like, "Oh, like." Like she will stare at the kids with a knife in his hands, and he was so scared. Oh, really? Because that's a very serious accusation, and you have 20 plus years to say something, but you chose not to until now that you conveniently need to sell books. Excuse me. Excuse me, girl. um I'm gonna read you a thing, or two. Like, listen to this. Federline claims throughout his memoir that he has several breaking points during his relationship with Britney Spears, but points specifically to one evening where he knew this was the beginning of the end for their marriage. In 2006, Federline was celebrating the release of his debut album with a party at Los Angeles Paramount Studios. Album? Is the album here with us? Anyways, um, Britney Spears initially said that she would not be attending, but inevitably did show up along with her brother Brian, father Jamie, agent Jason, and an unnamed actress. Federline walked in on her in his dressing room doing cocaine with the actress, something that he'd seen her do before, right? Now listen to this because we have a statement of Kevin Federline from before, and this is coming from his mouth. He said, Kevin said that when he and Britney were married, he never personally saw Britney do drugs. He said Britney told him that she did coke once or twice. Kevin said if drugs were a problem, he thinks he would have seen it, even the alcohol. He said it was not every day. However, Kevin and Britney always wanted to go out all the time. So you first went around saying that Britney was never doing anything like that. But now that you need money, you're saying that she was doing coke while breastfeeding? Girl. The lies, the lies, the lies. This man, I am so, I can't. I mean, honestly, this is one of the most disgusting person that we have ever seen in life. Now, Britney Spears, she doesn't do a lot of social media other than to do her dances. And she decided to go there after a long time, and actually clap back at Kevin Federline, which I'm very happy that she did. She says, the constant gaslighting from ex-husband is extremely hurtful and exhausting. I have always pleaded and screamed to have a life with my boys. Relationship with teenage boys is complex. I have felt demoralized by this situation. I have always asked and almost begged for them to be a part of my life. Sadly, they have always witnessed the lack of respect shown by their own father for me. They need to take responsibility for themselves. With one son only seeing me for 45 minutes in the past 5 years, and the other with only 4 visits in the past 5 years. I have pride too. From now on, I will let them know when I am available. Trust me, those white lies in that book, they are going straight to the bank, and I am the only one who genuinely gets hurt here. I will always love them, and if you really know me, you won't pay attention to the tabloids of my mental health and drinking. I am actually a pretty intelligent woman who has been trying to live a sacred and private life for the past 5 years. I speak on this because I have had enough, and any real woman will do the same. I think it was perfect. The statement was perfect. Kevin is a piece of shit. You know, he needs to go. I heard that McDonald's is hiring, maybe a Burger King. I have no idea. Just go and get a job. You can literally be an Uber driver. Stop leeching on Britney Spears. Because honestly, it's quite disgusting. And isn't he like 50 something? I don't know. Anyways, let me know what you guys think on the comments below about that one. All right, guys. So let's jump now into the Bravo verse. Okay. So, um, let's start with a little bit of like what happens live. Andy Cohen. He was doing this divas thing on during the month of October. Mariah Carey was there, Bette Midler. And now like Jennifer Lopez was also there. Well, what everything that is happening with Jennifer Lopez right now. Like she's on her flopping era. That is for sure. But anyways, I think she was pushed to be there because I don't know why would she do that after all of these flops. But anyways, let's talk related to Bravo because Andy Cohen asked her if it was true that her separation from A Road was because he was having an affair with Madison LeCroy from Southern Charm. Now, Jennifer Lopez played kind of coy, saying like, "I don't want to talk anymore about my personal life. There are things that just happen, blah blah blah." But in a way of like, tell me it is true without telling me that it is true. She's basically saying yes. So it was true. I mean, look, Madison LeCroy is in another place of her life. She is married, she has kids, she's doing an amazing thing. But it's part of her past. She broke up Jennifer Lopez with A Rod. it is what it is, you know? So, anyways, that happened. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about that one. Now, Heather Dubrow was on Two Teas in a Pod. I don't, not Two Teas in a Pod. She was on Humble Brag with Cynthia Bailey and Crystal Minkoff, and they talk about Next Gen LA. As you know, we have been talking about this for a while. There will be another franchise, so we have Next Gen NYC. Now, apparently, there has been these talks with Next Gen LA, but there are only talks. Now, there has been rumors here and there of who has been approached. It's being said that Adrian Malouf twins have been approached, and like Cynthia Bailey's daughter, and Heather Dubrow kid, and Kyle Richards, one of Kyle Richards' daughter, and there are like a lot of like people. There is a lot of kids that could join the West Coast, of this interaction, and um, Cynthia Bailey, basically, yes, she said that her daughter was approached and there was a conversation, but that she doesn't know if her daughter is ready to join reality TV. So it sounds like she's still thinking about it. On the other side, they asked Heather Dubrow if it was true that her son Max was also going to be joining the show, and she said yes. She says that he is also in conversations and that he is definitely ready to be a reality star. So I don't know if it's going to be for next year, but I think definitely Next Gen LA will be happening. I think they're just trying to like find the perfect, cast that will make sense. But there is a lot of kids that you can choose from this side. All right, now let's talk a little bit about the Real Housewife of Salt Lake City. Girl, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City was named by US Weekly as Reality TV Show of the Year, naming each one of the ladies Reality TV Stars of the Year. There was also Ariana Bierman and no, Ariana Bierman was named also Reality Star of the Year. Maddie Reese from Southern Hospitality was also named one, and I think that's it from the Bravoverse. I might be missing someone, but anyways, um, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is amazing. We all know it. We all know this franchise has gave us so much for 6 years straight. Year after year after year, it has been amazing, constantly amazing. There is not one episode that is boring. There is not one episode that you are like, oh, why am I watching here? No, like every single episode for 6 years has been amazing. So they deserve this. I am so glad, that they gave them this recognition because they deserve it. Lisa Barlow, Meredith Marks, Heather Gay, Mary Cosby, they are everything. Okay. They are the four pillars of this show, and I think you know it's incredible. Now, talking about this, each one of the ladies had to do interviews. There was a photo shoot inspired by the Desperate Housewife Vanity Fair cover photo shoot from back in the day. Amazing, like literally like crazy great comparison, right? But anyways, guess who was not on the photo shoot? Brittany. Mhm. Poor Brittany. At this point, I'm like, can we just give her a snowflake? I just want her for one season to enjoy a snowflake. She is craving that snowflake so much. Girl, when I'm telling you that Heroes Weekly invite her to do like an interview, like the interviews that they do, talking. She arrived in a swimsuit because the photo shoot was in a swimsuit. She arrived in a swimsuit. Yeah, she did that. And she's unapologetically saying like I just couldn't resist because I think that I deserve it to be part of that photo shoot as well. I was like, girl, no, no, she didn't. Oh no, she didn't. Oh my god, I love Brittany so much. I mean, the unhingedness is so real that you cannot help yourself but being like, yes, girl, yes. Now, what's interesting is that on the interview, they are all being very open. They are all being very like talking about the show and everything. Guess who are the two people that decided to took this interview to trash Lisa Barlow? Angie Katzenevas and Whitney Rose. I'm like, you are literally being called reality TV of the show. It's all about the show, the ensemble, and you are using this platform to talk shit about Lisa Barlow? Girl, I'm so sorry. Tell me that you are obsessed without telling me that you are obsessed. Like Lisa Barlow is just rent free on their minds. I mean, that obsession like it scares me. It's kind of like cannot you like put that different aside from 1 second? Like it has to be like that. Girl, another person that was super fake is they did an interview, on US Weekly with the five ladies, the five OGs basically, and they were talking about that time that someone want to quit or fire or whatever. They were talking about that Mary Cosby called Lisa Barlow and Whitney Rose, and like they were, but it was not in a fighting thing. It was They were just like kind of like talking. Whitney Rose has the nerve to take the microphone and said that she was literally almost fired and that she was going to quit on season 3, and she says, I was fighting with Heather. And Lisa, she stood up to the occasion and she was there for me and she convinced me to not do it and she fought for me. And that is like a real friend right there. And I'm like, you are literally saying this as you are trying to destroy Lisa on the show with Angie and Bronwyn? The fakeness of it all. I'm so sorry. The fakeness of it all. Like that's why I cannot trust Whitney Rose. I'm so sorry. She will throw everyone under the bus. Like she literally throw, Adam from App and Adam under the bus. She will throw her dad under the bus. She doesn't give a shit about anyone. It's quite insane when you really think about it. The way that she is so fake. That's one person that can leave this show for sure. Um, but anyways, I am very happy for the ladies of Salt Lake City. I think they did an amazing job. I think they are still gonna be killing it, and yeah, it's just amazing. All right, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. How do you feel about Real House of Salt Lake City? Who you think deserves to continue here? And yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about the season in general or the show in general? Now, let's talk a little bit about the Real Housewife of Miami. Julia Lemigova just came forward after a massive backlash online and everything that happened at the reunion. And she is saying that she is seeking treatment for PTSD after her explosive outburst on the Real Housewife of Miami. She says, there is no excuse for throwing things or screaming. I take full responsibility and accountability for my behavior, and I'm sorry again to Gertie. There is no one to blame for this but me. What I have done, it didn't come out of nowhere. I see now that I came from years of trauma. I have never fully uh, faced it bubbled up. I felt corn emotionally and I snapped, and that is not okay. What can I say? What can I see so clearly now is that this wasn't just a television meltdown, it was a cry for help that played out on camera. Now, Lemigova said that she is ready to confront the past head on. That includes finally facing the pain she still carries with her over the loss of her 5-month-old son, Maximilian Stern, who died in 2000 from shaking baby syndrome while in the care of a nanny her ex had hired. She says sometimes when bad things happen to you, whether in childhood or later in life, it paralyzes you and you just want to run away. I have been the queen of sweeping things under the rug. I always tell myself I'll deal with it tomorrow. But I see now that comes back to bite you in the end. And I need to work on myself. I want to do better, not just for me, but for my family. To help her do that, Let Me Go But Told People magazine she's turning to professionals. I'm seeking treatment for my PTSD because I need to finally deal with things I have buried for years. This is deep work and I can't do it alone. I may be a strong woman, but I am not Wonder Woman. I'm human. And as she continues her journey towards healing, Let Me Go But hopes the Real Housewives of Miami audience will see that side of her too. She says, English isn't my first language. I speak five, and sometimes my words don't come across clearly. So I understand why a lot of people are confused by what I said and how I act. But I am trying my best. I am doing the work to get better. What defines us isn't our mistakes, it's how we learn from them and move forward. And that's the journey I'm on. Wow. I mean, the PR crisis team on this, they were like running like crazy. Look, I'm gonna say something. I don't hate Julia Lemigo at all. I don't. I'm not into the hate train for her. I think that she made a lot of mistakes. That is for sure. But so many other housewives has done worse. At the end of the day, words on words. Actions will speak louder than words. So I will be okay to give her another season if she's gonna be able to show us that she's working on herself. But I don't want anyone saying then that it is boring because we all know that we love our housewife to be unhinged. hmm Anyways, let me know what you guys think on the comments below. Now let's talk a little bit about New York. Ramona Singer, girl, she was on radio and she was talking to, I think it was with Dorinda. They were talking about New York, and all of that. She, of course, keeps saying that the New York is a mistake, blah, 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 but she doesn't care about them anymore. She says that she wants to return somehow to the Bravo family. She says that maybe going on below deck with the whole cast, kind of like ultimate girls trip, but going on below deck and like drive everyone crazy. I could see that happening. I mean, we're gonna have Salt Lake City going on below deck, so I could definitely see that happening right there. You know what I mean? Look, I don't know, but then she also says that New York, the Real Housewives of New York, the old Real House of New York, is iconic and that it is right up there with shows like Seinfeld and Friends. And I look, I can't believe that I'm saying this, but I kind of like agree. Look, you cannot compare the audiences that a show like Friends have. Like, girl, Friends is my favorite show. I literally fell asleep every single night watching Friends. Okay, um, and it's part of American history at this point, and not even American, the world history. Like, how many of us who don't speak English as a first language learn a lot of English by watching Friends? Like, go into like your friends that are like immigrants, are not from the United States. Most of them will tell you, I learned a lot of English by watching Friends. It's wild, but it is what it is. I am telling you, right? Um, I don't believe that it is like as there as Friends, but when we talk about reality TV, I do believe that the old Real Houses of New York is up there because all Roni is what Salt Lake City is right now. It was real, it was unhinged, it was just ready to put everything out there. That's why we loved it so much. That's why we love Salt Lake City so much. So, and it is iconic. We have rewatched the show with my husband a couple of times, and you are like, damn, this is why the new Roni is not working out, because these girls care so much about what people say, because they care about social media, because they care about so many things. When are we gonna have someone who does not give a shit about getting wasted, falling into bushes, or shitting themselves in front of a camera? Like, that's what we love about Roni. Sonia Morgan is like so unhinged when she was drunk that it was amazing to watch. Dorinda Medley has gave us the best one-liners we have ever had. So yes, so Ramona is right. Roni is top five probably right there, like inside of the top five of the best reality TV shows in history. But let me know what you guys think on the comments below. And talking about Dorinda, girl, she was also on her podcast with Kiki Monique, and they were talking Real Housewives of Orange County. Okay, before we tell you that, just a quick because I just watched the last episode of Orange County. I very quickly the way that I love Shannon Bedore. This girl is a walking mess, but in such a nice way. Like, I want to be her friend. I want to drink with her. I want to do space cakes with her. I want to just be on her atmosphere because this girl, I mean, Shannon is so funny. She's so funny and she's funny without even trying to be funny. I love her. Like, we were watching that episode and we were like laughing, and that almost never happened that you are actually laughing at an episode of Real Housewives. She brings so much like craziness, happiness, and messiness to the episodes that are, especially this season, amazing. I love you, girl. I love Shannon Bedore. Anyways, let's go back. So, they're talking about the whole Katie Janela situation, right? And Dorinda is actually kind of like defending Katie, saying that it is impressive that she has been going onto every single podcast and absolutely everything, and she is defending her truth, and she's not even slightly changing, her version of the things, nothing. And of course, Kiki lose her shit because Katie is literally saying that she is a liar. And then Dorinda, you don't play with Dorinda. No, no, no. Dorinda put her on her place right there. And I'm just like, when it comes to that situation, I have to tell you, I believe that Katie did not tell anything to Kiki Monique. I believe that Sheena told something to Kiki Monique. Kiki probably kind of like talked something with Katie, and Katie you know, told her that it was true, whatever she heard, but it actually came from Kiki. And now Kiki has to defend this truth because she works with Sheena. Sheena is best friends with Gretchen. Kiki has way more things to lose: her reputation, her job, her podcast, her all of this. So I think she cannot go against Sheena and say like, "Oh, Sheena is the one lying. She was the one who told me." She's never gonna do that. So she's trying to defend her truth, but at the end of the day, when I think about it, Katie doesn't really think has too much to lose. Maybe she will get fired from the show, but they have money. She doesn't really care. She does not need the Bravo coins to live. You know what I mean? So I'm starting to believe that. Well, I have believed for a while. That, I mean, I have always think that Katie has been telling the truth, but I believe that now this is the reason why Kiki is introducing herself so much. And the thing is, and I know about this firsthand, if you're gonna go around telling other Bravo celebrities what other Bravo celebrities have told you, you have to be able to back yourself out of it. Because at the end of the day, the Bravo celebrity will do what's best for them. They are never gonna put you first. You are not their best friends. You are not their kids. And so, no, they will throw you under the bus. And I think that was the mistake that maybe Kiki did. Maybe she thought that people were gonna backing her up, or that she was not gonna have to like do all of this, and it doesn't work like that. If you're gonna go around sharing what other Bravo celebrities tell you, you better have your receipts, because this is not a game that you can win by she said she said. It doesn't work like that. You have to come here with the actual conversations, where actually says literally, not like, see, if you read between the lines, this is what it means. No, where actually says. If you're gonna do that, if you're gonna play that game to get your 5 seconds of fame in front of the camera, that's what you have to do. When you don't do it, all goes to shit. And guess what? You are not gonna be right, because you are not part of the Bravo family. Okay? So, anyways, that happened. So that's it for today, guys. I know, an amazing show. Let me know all of your opinions. I wanna read your 10 comments per person. About every single thing that we talked today. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, if you want to support me on my channel, go to the link on the description below. That's the only way that you can support me right now, given that this channel and my old channel are not monetized anymore, and for now. So thank you so much. And another amazing way to support me is by liking this video, sharing this video, and subscribing to my YouTube channel. Okay, share everywhere, send everyone that knows about this, that cares about pop culture or Bravo or anything else, on Reddit, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on everything else. Okay, let's keep this family growing. I'm still trying to bring everyone from my old YouTube channel, so hopefully we will get there very soon. Okay, so love you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you around. See ya. Bye.